if God speaks, that is revelation, right?
Yeah.
So if Jesus is God, that would be revelation.
That will be revelation,
Okay.
of course, according to your belief.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So now, in terms
But
of
you have to prove he's God, no? Then I can believe what he says.
how
is
would you like me
revelation.
to show you that he's God?
See, I have fresh mind, open mind. I will just listen to you
Okay.
the way you want to say things.
Come to Jesus.
Make me.
Okay. Let's
I can question.
no
That's
problem.
What I can do. It is.
Okay. Let's go. Where's my Bible?
Did Jesus himself say he's God?
He didn't need to. No, he didn't.
Why not? Oh, he did not.
No.
Never.
No.
Then why do you believe in he was God?
Because he told people he was God in a roundabout
That's
way.
what I'm asking.
No, but he didn't say those exact words.
Okay. He said, me and God is one. That's what he said.
Oh, so you know some of the passages.
No, some guy told me, okay, please don't do that. Should you from the shoulder?
So let me ask you this:
I know
who,
that
who,
about
who,
Christianity.
who is the Alpha and Omega?
Doesn't matter. These are words.
It's words.
Is it in Aramaic or these words in Aramaic?
Let me just throw a question back at you. The Quran is in Arabic, and it quotes Jesus.
It doesn't quote Jesus.
It quotes Jesus.
It talks about Jesus.
No, but Jesus, because Allah will say to Jesus, "Did you tell people to worship me besides?"
No one else.
Yeah, and what? And Jesus replies, "Yes."
He is telling Muhammad in his language what he understands.
So when
to
Jesus speaks, it's not in his original language, and you're okay with that. But then when I have the Bible, you want it in the original language.
You're not getting the
Okay,
point.
let me.
I'm saying if
Yes.
someone talks to me
Right.
in my language,
Yes.
my language is Kashmiri.
Okay.
I'm from Kashmir.
Right.
If someone talks to me in Kashmiri and
Right.
talks about you,
Yeah.
it means he will talk to me in my language,
Okay.
not in your language.
Okay.
But if someone talks to you
Right.
and your first language is not English, it's
Right.
say Zulu
Right.
or any other language. If he talks to you about me,
Right.
what language will he use? Your language, the one
Right.
you understand.
But the point
Not
is,
the one.
yeah. But the point is, you can still translate it into another language.
Translation
Right?
is different thing. I'm not asking about that.
Yeah.
You can translate in 100
Yeah.
of-
So the Bible, the Gospels were written in Greek.
They were not written in Greek.
Yes, they
were
were.
in Aramaic.
No, they weren't.
Where was Jesus born?
He spoke Aramaic, but the Gospel writers wrote in Greek because they could
That's a
speak.
different thing. That's not my point.
Okay. Go on.
I can
Okay.
write.
Yes.
A person living in Britain can write gospel in English.
Right.
Doesn't mean that's the real.
But that's your assumption that it's not the real one. Is my point.
It's not the real one.
You would have to
So
provide.
if do you
Who
think-
told? But why would you believe it's not the real one? Is my point.
Because you're telling me.
No.
If something is in its original scripture.
If I understand Kashmir
Yeah.
and you speak in Kashmir and I write it in English, is that not the original? Why?
It's a translation.
But it's still summarizing what you
You
said.
cannot translate exact words into exact different language. It has
Okay.
to be spoken in their own language.
So do you
Just
speak
like-
Arabic?
No, I don't.
So then how do you understand the Quran?
Understanding some language with meaning is different than God telling his
So
prophet
you see,
talk to people.
So you see the exceptions you're making for yourself.
I'm not
You
making
can.
exceptions.
So I've said.
But I can learn Arabic.
Yeah, but
I
you
can-
haven't.
I understand basic
So
Arabic.
how can you know? Do you believe the Quran is is a miracle in terms of eloquence?
No, that's a different thing.
No, but I'm
asking
just
first to
asking.
you if Jesus spoke Aramaic. Where is
Yes.
the Aramaic Bible?
Yeah, but I'm saying.
Because God spoke to
I'm
him.
saying to you, the people that around him that could understand the language written in Greek.
Did he not? Did they not understand Aramaic?
Yes, they did.
Why didn't they write it in Aramaic?
Because
Do you know
because
what's red?
let me
do you know
explain
what's
to
red
you.
letter Bible?
Do you know what Hellenization is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Do you know what's red letter Bible?
No, but answer
No,
the.
I'm asking. Do
No,
you know
but
what's red
I'll
letter
answer
Bible?
you. But this will answer
I'm
your
asking,
question.
do you know what's red
No,
letter
but
Bible?
this will answer your question. Do you know what Hellenization is?
No, I don't.
Hellenization was basically the ability of the Israelite Empire was under Greek rule. So Hellenization is like people from Kashmir can speak English
Yeah.
because English has become the lingua franca of most most global people.
Yeah.
So at the time, Greek was a very dominant language. That's why people could speak Aramaic.
In Arabic, it's preserved.
You touch my camera again?
Yeah.
No, but why? I thought you already that it's already
side.
set up.
Because we're going there.
It's already set up so that I don't get your face. You understand?
I'm
You
here.
understand or no?
The but it's
If I were
facing-
you,
it's
I was
facing
gonna
me.
shoot
It's
it from the
facing
back. You understand? So don't touch my camera again, please.
Yeah. So make your point.
The Quran
Yes.
is saved just like it was revealed. I'm asking you the same question.
No, it's not. You don't have the original Quran.
You have that as well.
No.
What else is
What
it?
is an Aruf?
Had it been that we have two different Qurans,
Yes.
you would have found it anywhere in the world.
But we do. We.
Show me.
You
There's
don't.
only one version of Quran.
No, there isn't. Do you know?
Let me prove it to you by simple.
Do you know what
by
the
simple thing?
Do you,
By simple thing. There are a lot of Muslims here.
Right.
I don't know any of them.
Right.
Not a single person I know.
okay.
Just a moment. Are you Muslim?
What
Come
country
here.
are you from? What
Which
country?
country are you
Which
from?
country?
Come
Oman.
here. Just a minute. Just a moment. Just one question. That's it. Okay, here. How many versions of Quran are there? Versions.
Versions. Okay.
I don't know this guy.
So if I show you something contradictory from
Show
your,
me.
okay.
He said there are multiple versions of Quran. I said I can call any Muslim here. I don't know them.
Maybe reading.
Aha, you see?
Reciting. different
Yes.
Reciting. But
You
that's
see?
recite.
Right.
See.
So now
the
wait,
way-
wait,
the
wait,
way- the way I speak- the way I speak
wait.
English right
now.
The way I speak English right
Right.
You can speak in different
Now,
tones. That doesn't make.
You see?
the English
Now
wrong.
now you appeal to the readers. Now let me ask you a question. Are the reading exactly the same? Or is the pronunciation
Exact same.
It's the same meaning.
you see? So the words are different, but he's saying the
Words are not different. Who
no,
said words
you
are
said,
different?
listen to what I'm about to say. You said the meaning is the same, but the word is different.
Word is same
Where you
word.
from?
Wait.
Yeah.
I,
How do you say water?
water.
How do you say water?
Water.
Is the spelling? Now let me ask you a
W-A-T-E-R,
question.
W-A-T-E-R.
Now, is the spelling the same of the
Yeah.
words? Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I'm
Let me
telling
show
you,
him.
Get any Quran
You
and
speak
see.
Arabic. Let me show you something. Ah, my battery's just
You
died.
can call any Muslim here and ask them how many versions of Quran there is.
You see, because he said the readings.
Words and
Because
sounds are
like for
different.
example, Malik and Maliki is not the same.
Maliki Quran is not same.
One means
Don't do
king, and one means owner. Yes. Malik and Maliki.
And Maliki only.
Yeah. One means king, and one means owner. So is the spelling of king the same as owner?
that. That's in English.
I know, but even in Arabic,
Malik and Malik.
is the spelling the same in Arabic with the diacritical marks?
It's. I mean. it's
Answer
same
my
way.
question, a
The
simple
vowels.
question. The vowels are different. If the vowels are different, it means you have something that is not identical. So if you have something that's not identical, it means you have.
Why don't you understand
He just
that?
said the vowels are different.
Yes, but
So if the spelling is different, regardless of the
Spelling
meaning,
is not different.
my friend, listen to what I'm saying. He just listen to what I'm saying. I'll let you respond. You've just said the vowels are different. He said the meaning is owner and the meaning is king, which means they are different. So how can you have one if you have two which have different meanings? So it's if there's one, it means they all have the same meaning. They all have the same pronunciation.
Different words
If they
have
have
different meanings, right?
exactly. So if you have one
word
Quran,
is same.
listen. If you have one Quran that says Malik
He
and
asked-
another
he
Quran that
asked
says
me- he asked me
Maliki,
about water.
it means it's
Wait,
not
wait.
identical to the other one,
He asked
which
me
means
about-
you have more
he
than
asked
one.
me about water. Water in my language is called something else. Water
Yes.
in Arabic language is called something else.
Right.
Water in English is called something else.
Right.
Right? But the water is same.
That's not my point. My
That's what
point
they're
is,
saying.
my point.
Maliki Yawmiddin or
My
Maliki
point-
Yawmiddin. It's exactly the same word.
No, it's not.
Exactly
The-
the same.
the-
The difference is, the difference
is the diacritical spelling.
Listen, it's not about the spelling.
You
It's the
see,
exact
they
same
have to
word.
throw away the
No.
spelling.
Spelling
It's
is
the
same.
exact
What is
same
the
word.
meaning? What
It
is the
means-
meaning?
It means king.
And what's the other one?
Malik, same thing. Malik, he owns it. That is his.
You see,
That's
owner and the king, they're not the same
it. No,
word.
But look.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I hear your
Wait,
point.
let me.
Your point is,
Wait.
It's spelled different.
Wait, exactly.
Therefore, it doesn't mean the
So-
exact same
wait,
thing.
no,
It
that's
does.
not what I said.
It does.
That's not what I said. You're throwing a man in my point. My point was, if they spelt different, they cannot be seen as the same. The meaning might be saying, I'm going to grant you that. But as long as the spelling is different, you cannot say they're exactly the same. It means there's a differentiation. That means if you say there's one Quran, that means every single Quran has to be spelt the same way. Because
It's all spelt the same way.
you've just admitted that they're
I'm
spelt
just saying,
differently.
you said the word. You didn't say about in the Quran.
So it's
I said in the Quran it's spelt Malik and it's got something in the middle.
a diacritical
That
mark.
listen,
Yes,
that's what it
exactly.
means.
So
But I'm not
if
talking about that. Like
But
Maliki
my
Yawmiddin.
point is, if you have
Maliki
one
Yawmiddin,
Quran here and you read it Malik, and you have another Quran in Maliki,
No.
it means they're written.
Pronounced different. It's only pronounced different
Why?
between two different ways of reading the Quran recitation.
It's based on the
That's it.
diacritical
No,
marks,
Recitation.
the vowelization.
Recitation.
Is it written exactly the same?
Yes.
No, it's
Every
not.
Quran is written.
My
exactly.
friend,
I
how can-
guarantee you. I will guarantee you.
Okay, first say Wallahi
Yeah.
is written exactly the same, then I'm going to show you it's different. Go on, in front of the camera.
Wallahi, I would say that. Yeah.
Go
It's
and say
spelled
Wallahi,
Maliki Yawmiddin.
the
It's spelled that way. It's
vowelization
spelled that way.
are both exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
All right. Do you agree with him?
Yes.
That the spelling is exactly
It's
the
exactly
same?
the same way. It hasn't been
Okay.
changed.
So
It hasn't
what,
been changed.
what do you...
It's only that diacritical
Okay.
mark that you're talking about that's in the
Ah,
middle.
you see?
That's it.
You've just condemned yourself.
listen,
What did
that's
you
like
say?
me
The
saying-
extra
listen,
the mark in the middle.
I'm not
That means...
extraditing.
Okay.
Nobody said that. I did not say that. It did
You
not come
said-
out my mouth.
what did you
I
say?
said the word is exactly spelled the exact same way
Right.
in every single Quran, and the only thing that differs
Yeah.
is the recitation
How-
of the word.
How do you...
That's
okay,
it.
how do you recite the words? Based on what? When
Some
you're
people,
reading it?
Some people,
Right.
look, in Islam, listen,
Right.
in Islam, it's been taught to us that it could be pronounced both ways. Maliki Yawmiddin or Maliki Yawmiddin.
Based on what?
Based on the scholars that we have.
No, it's based on the text. So if someone reads it, you have...
His point was actually you have different versions of Quran.
No, there isn't. That's what he's trying to say. But the word in
You
every
guys-
Quran
oh
is
my
spelled the
days.
exact
Let me
same way.
let me just
It's
show you
only
something.
pronounced different in certain madhabs. They
Yeah, this
read
is
it,
what I'm
it's the
talking about.
recitation that differs, nothing else. Someone says Maliki Yawmiddin or Maliki Yawmiddin, but in Islam, we can't say one word is better than the other. We say both of them work.
Okay,
Because
let me
it's
show
the
you something.
recitation. In Arabic, they have many different accents. This is the difference. If you go to Sudan, they speak different than Saudi. Saudi speak different than Yemen.
yeah.
Yemen speaks different than
Right.
Syria.
Yeah.
They all
Right.
speak the same language,
Yeah.
but they basically their dialects is different. That's it. So that's why they
Okay,
say.
he said
Maliki
Wallahi,
Yawmiddin.
you said Wallahi. Now, let me show you this one. Or Ain Yazir.
What
Why
surah is
it has-
this? Surah Kafir.
Now I'm gonna ask you: is the spelling with the dots exactly the same as this one? Is the spelling? That's what I'm asking
Please,
you.
Let me take a look.
Okay.
Let me take a look.
So this is from the Hafs and this is the Wash. These are two different recitations. Are these the spelling exactly the same?
These are
Don't tell me the meaning.
Wait.
I'm asking the spelling.
إلا في ضلال وقال فرعون ذرني أقتله فدعا ربه إني أخاف أن يظهر. It's exactly the same.
The spelling.
It's exactly the same.
The spelling is
It's
not.
exactly the same. Wow, what are you trying to show me? This is exactly the
So
same.
okay.
وأن يظهر is exactly the same.
That's it.
No. It's just. I'll show you. See this here. This is Warsh basically, and it's exactly the same words, exactly same meanings, written exactly the same way.
Okay,
It's
show
only,
me.
it's
Okay,
only
show
the
me.
writing is different.
Okay, show me
It's
where
just like
that-
how they write the letters different. That's all. It's exactly the same word. It could be read. It could be read. Wallahi.
Different writing.
Wait. Wallahi is exactly the same word and it's not different. I guarantee you, call anyone here that speaks Arabic, read Arabic. I do. That's exactly
No,
the same
it's
word.
not. Oh
Wallahi,
my
it is.
God. Okay,
Go back to the meaning. It's exactly the same meaning as well.
I didn't say the meaning. I said the spelling.
وأرجلكم exactly the same thing. إلى الكعبين وإن كنتم.
Wait.
وإن كنتم. Everything is exactly the same.
Bro.
Wallahi, look.
So okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
There's a diacritical mark, right?
Okay.
Where is it on this one? Above the line.
Under.
So it's under. So
Yeah.
it's moved.
No, you see. Look.
That causes the difference in pronunciation. Is my point. Exactly.
Not the meaning though.
I didn't
It's
say. Where did I say?
pronunciation.
Where did I
That's like-
say?
Wait. I'll give you an example.
Where did I say the meaning?
Asking you about the water.
Wait.
We speak.
I said
we
if
say
the-
water.
Listen.
You say water.
Listen. Have you?
Bro,
listen.
these guys are so.
No. Wait. Have you been to Liverpool? Have you been to Liverpool? Manchester? None. They all speak the exact same English, but their pronunciation to the words is different. So does that differ from the meaning?
I'll tell you why.
It's just dialect.
I'll tell you why.
Accents.
I'll tell you why. For example, in English,
accents. It's down to
if we
accents,
say
by the way.
organization, in English we use an S. In America they use a Z. So the meaning is the same, but the spelling is different. So that means when you look at the two, they're two different. That's my point. So if you're saying the Quran is exactly the same, that means there is no.
Listen,
if the Quran, okay.
You're talking about what's written on top of the letter.
Okay,
or under the
all
letter.
right, okay, let me.
The meaning and the words is exactly the
bro,
same.
you're
and it's written the same way.
straw manning my point.
Yeah.
Let me ask you: is every Quran written letter for letter, dot for dot, exactly the same?
Yes. Dot for dot. Yes.
You've just said the dot moved to the
That's
bottom.
not the dot. This is the dot.
Okay.
Wait. No. You're talking about the mark.
Wait,
It's not a dot.
guys. Now, look at this word. Is there a line at the top of that one?
That's not a thing though. It's not,
Now.
it's not a dot.
I said it's a line. Is that line still there at the top? It's moved.
Just under.
Has it moved?
No, it's not gone. It's gone down.
So which verse is it? First
So has it moved? Has it moved?
Surah?
What's this?
This is the mean. Wash your feet, or wash your head and your feet.
It's exactly the same, bro.
Wait. I've asked you a simple question.
I'm saying which surah
That
is
line, is it on?
that? You're showing
Is
the
it
picture?
is it still there?
It's everything the same.
Just say yes or.
Which surah is that?
Listen to
My friend, I'm asking this. He said every Quran is exactly the same.
Dot for dot.
I've shown him, and the dot has moved.
That's dot for dot.
So how's it
No,
exactly? That's what I asked
no,
you.
listen.
So if I've got two Qurans and the dot moves, how is every Quran exactly the same?
Listen.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait. Now, if I say,
Because when you
wait. I'll show you where the difference is.
but let me just make my point. Because let me just listen to
letter
what I'm
has not
about
been
to say.
changed, the word has not been changed. Nothing has been changed. You're just talking about a mark
No,
on
but
top.
wait.
It's just a
Basic,
mark.
bro.
It's accents, different
Exactly.
accents.
That's what causes a change in the recitation.
Where did you get this from?
understand it.
Oh, I've just taken a screenshot. So you have.
So this is the Quran, this is the
No,
different one.
this is a.
This is a different
Yeah,
one.
this is the Hafs Quran. This is the Susi Quran. Because you know in
This is
Morocco.
Warsh and this is Hafs.
Yeah, in Morocco
It's just
they use
accent,
the
different accent.
Wash Quran. So they use that's the different recitation.
Oh, listen, that's what I'm saying to you. Recitation,
Right.
accent, that's it. Nothing else.
Right.
Exact same word, exact same meaning.
Listen.
Where do we differ?
Listen to what I said. You said every Quran is exactly the same.
Yes.
Forget the meaning.
Yes.
Let's start with how it looks. I'm gonna break it down because you guys are. Listen to what I'm saying.
Brother, you're not even.
Wait.
You're not even trying to understand.
No, I know, but
Like,
okay.
It's like I'm saying. Wait. In Liverpool, if you go there, alright, kid. We both know what that means. Alright, kid. It's actually English, but they pronounce it different because they have a different accent to us. This is a different accent. It has nothing to do with the Quran being
Okay,
changed.
let's
The
go.
letters
Let's
exactly the
simplify
same.
it.
Words,
Let's
everything.
simplify it. Simplify it.
Yeah.
What? Recite. What's the meaning of this?
Okay. Here it says, وَقَالَ فِرْعَوْنُ. So Pharaoh said,
Yeah.
let me kill Moses.
Yeah.
And let his God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let his God.
Yeah.
وَلْيَدَعْ رَبَّهُ إِنِّي أَنَا أَخَافُ أَنْ يُبَدَّلَ دِينَكُمْ وَيُظْهِرَ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَسَادًا. So I want to kill him so
Yeah.
he doesn't change what you believe in already. Does
And-
that make sense?
and he says and.
And to show.
Yeah.
And like as in to show.
Right.
See, it's exactly the same word.
And, right. So this
وَإِن
one-
وَأَن يُظْهِر.
And this one he says or.
It's exactly the same.
But wait. Let's clarify.
No,
Does he say
no.
or in this
no,
one?
No, see. See the meaning of both of them.
Wait, just
it's and. And it's not or.
Wait.
Even if it is different, it doesn't matter.
It does.
No, let me say something. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ,
Right.
there's also a hadith where he said that the Quran was revealed in 7 ahraf.
See?
So the ahraf can be different. There were. And
Okay, go on.
This is in.
I know. I'm aware of this. I'm aware of this.
Most authentic.
I'm aware of this.
And
Get to your point.
he's
There's
saying-
this guy called Martin van Putten. He's a
Yeah.
atheist or agnostic.
I'm aware of him.
Yeah, and he has accepted it.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's accepted-
Yeah.
he's accepted
Are you aware of
Quran.
Haitham Sidki and
Like, it doesn't matter, man. This guy
Okay,
has
you see.
accepted
What is he
that
accepted?
Essentially, the Quran is almost 100% preserved. Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
I thought Muslims say it is preserved.
Yeah,
It is preserved.
It is
He
preserved.
he said almost.
Almost
In
100%.
your belief.
But in our...
But he's appealing to him, not me.
But my point is... listen,
So a scholar has said that the
it is preserved even if there are a few words different in those ahraf. And the reason is...
few words different.
Not few words.
I'm aware of the scholarship, and that's why he said yes, it is, because this is what the scholars have said, and I'm aware of. I can tell you all the
Because there were
scholars.
7 ahraf in
Yeah.
which it was revealed, so it doesn't matter to us.
So he's admitted.
He ain't admitted anything. So you want to understand what you want to understand. I'm
No,
saying to you.
I know the scholar he's talking
I'm saying
about.
to you,
I know
you're
the
saying
scholarship.
Listen, you said is the word changed? I said to you, the word has not been changed. Not one word in the Quran has been changed, right? The only thing that was different is one recitation is different than the other recitation by accent.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
No, but he wasn't talking about ahraf.
Okay, let me ask
He's
you,
not talking about ahraf. He's talking
my
about
friend,
recitation.
your scholars.
Words and house.
Is it? Let me just inform you something. Your scholars do not know the difference between aruf and qira'at. That's why Yasikadi.
No, they do.
No, they don't.
No, they
because
do,
according
They
to
do.
they don't.
They've taught us that. How can you say that?
This is why, for example, I'm sure you've all seen the Muhammad hijab discussion with Yasser Qadi, and he said, if I give you a blank mushaf,
I'm sorry, I don't go back to any of them. I go to
right?
the original.
Do you know more than Muhammad hijab?
I don't know more than anyone.
Do you know more than Muhammad
I don't know
hijab?
more than anyone.
Okay.
I don't know more than anyone.
Okay,
I'm
give me
saying
one
to you,
scholar that agrees with you.
I guarantee
Give me the name
I
of the
guarantee
scholar.
you, if you go back,
I'm asking you, give me the
any
name of the
hadith,
scholar.
If you go back to any of
Okay.
the hadith, you would see the qira'at, the recitation between Warsh and him is different.
What the Quran has said, it is preserved according to the Quranic definition of preservation.
Which is what?
That is all that matters.
Show me in the Quran the definition of preservation.
Which is basically that...
Show me in the Quran.
Preserving the hearts of people.
I want someone to show me. Show me that Quran verse, because Al-Tabari said there are different interpretations of what it means.
The current form that it is today,
Yes.
it is preserved.
Show me the definition. You said according to the definition.
Because God has promised.
Show me the show me the
Any
promise.
Quran.
Just show
Pull
me.
any Quran. Pull any Quran. Any Quran.
We don't need a definition. What's
You
happened today
just said there
is
was a definition. You said according to the Quran, it has been preserved. So I said show me the verse where it shows what the definition of preservation
Yeah, but
is.
it doesn't have a verse about
So
that.
how can you say it's been preserved if there's no
Because
definition?
what it is like today is
Surah Al-Buruj, man, it's so
is the
simple.
definition.
Yeah, Allah says, I sent
What
it
has
down, I will
happened?
preserve it.
Yeah.
Inna nazalnahu wa inna
So-
lahu lahafidhun.
Exactly.
Allah
Wait.
says
It says I'll
Well,
send it and
okay.
it will be preserved.
So
It is
what
preserved
happened to
as according to that
Ibn
definition.
Masud's codex? Because if you've been looking at
I know what you're talking
right, so please inform everyone what Ibn Masud's code. Why?
It doesn't matter.
Where's his Quran?
It doesn't
Was his this? Okay, let me ask you this question because you named Van Buren. Do we have Ibn Masud's Quran? Is it exactly the same, letter for letter, dot for dot, as the? Don't answer my yes or no. Is Ibn Masud's Quran, letter for letter, dot for dot, exactly the same as the Hafs Quran, according to the scholarship? He
have
can't
7
answer it.
no,
Don't.
no,
I
we have
asked you a
7
simple question, yes
But
or no.
You're not understanding the
No,
point.
but-
We have 7
Yeah,
Listen,
don't worry. I just.
listen.
Fair, you
It
can have
doesn't
several.
matter.
I'm just asking a simple question.
But you know.
No, but you
know
see,
the truth.
you know the truth, but you don't want to admit it.
No,
I've
but
asked you a simple
I'm
question.
saying
Okay.
It's one of the ahraf, so it doesn't matter.
But that's not what my question was. My question was Ibn Masud's codex, word for word, letter for letter, exactly the same as the one? That's not my question.
It's one of the ahraf.
That's not my question.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
I'm asking you a simple question because they say, that, you see, he's running away.
He's not running away.
Because the point is,
You don't know what you're saying.
thank you. It wasn't because all my point was they keep saying every Quran is letter for letter,
but
exactly
those
the
are people who
same.
don't know.
And at least he's admitted that it wasn't because that is a misconception amongst Muslims.
We don't care because it's.
Huh?
The Quran is not in one recitation.
Yeah, but Ibn Masud's codex wasn't even a recitation.
Yeah, but we don't care. It's one of ahraf.
Yeah,
There's
but
difference between
but if
qira'at
you're
and ahraf.
but listen to my argument. If you're saying every Quran is exactly the same,
That's people who don't know. Listen, people,
no, I'm saying listen. If you make a claim, if you make a claim, if you they made the claim that there's one Quran, and that Quran has been preserved. So I asked them about Ibn Masud's Quran. Was it different? If it's different, then you cannot say every Quran is exactly the same. That's point one.
It's good that you're studying the Quran more than your own book. It doesn't mean you're an expert on it.
Pardon?
The difference in Ibn Masud.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
There were chapters. He had different surahs. He had 100 and, if I'm correct, 100. It's either 117 or 118 surahs.
Where do you have it? Where's this evidence?
Huh?
He studies the Quran every night.
Where's
Till midnight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
It's good, but
Okay, let me show you.
it's good you study the Quran every night.
Because what my point is, Muslims have been lied to. Because even your own Islamic sources tell you this. But because modern day people in the park, they lie, most Muslims don't even know what their own sources say.
You'll know Day of Judgment who's been lied to.
Huh?
You'll know Day of Judgment who's been lied to.
He knows his stuff. He studies it every night.
Well, let's stick on the Quran.
There are 140 surahs, nothing more. Nothing
Okay. Let me just show you something. How many surahs?
You're saying it like this is something, a revelation. It's not a revelation. You already know this.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't. So,
But so it's not I'm saying most Muslims don't know this.
yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Of course it does. Because if you're propagating a lie that every Quran is the same, when the history doesn't even agree with that, then it's a lie.
So you realize that we don't.
Huh?
You realize that, and we don't. Billions of Muslims don't realize that, and you
Yeah.
realize that.
Okay, let me show you something.
Yeah. The claim you made about Ibn Masud's Mus'haf is wrong. He didn't have extra surahs, he was two missing.
Perception doesn't
He didn't
matter.
write Al-Fatiha.
Reality matters.
Yeah, it didn't have it in. Why did he leave it
You
out?
mentioned why. It's even in this book, Kitab al-Masahif.
What does he say?
He mentioned that the reason why he didn't put Al-Fatiha is because if he put it, he would have put it before every single surah. But he mentioned that it's supposed to be part of the Quran. He mentioned it as the mother of the book.
But then, okay, wait 1 second, hold
And
on.
this book mentions that when they compiled it, is ijma', including Ibn Masud.
But his students still use his codex. That's why you still have. Yeah, but that's why you still have, because he said for the sake of the Ummah, that was the only reason. But he had to be called.
No, but he still believed that there was part of it's supposed to be part of
But that's okay. But this is okay. But okay. Look. Okay, guys. Let's start from the beginning, right? Okay. Wait. Let's start from the beginning. My friend, let's start from the beginning. He said, you agree there's 7 recitations, 7 aruf. Did Uthman burn the Qurans? How many was there left when he burnt it? But wait. Let me just ask. How many? When? Wait.
Four manuscripts that were the main manuscripts from which everything was copied.
Right. So then, when Uthman burnt all the Qurans, how many was left? There's what?
There's only the Uthmanic.
Right. So where did the other recitations come from? If he burnt all the other Qurans?
That's what we say. Qira'at is different from Qira'at.
Yeah, but I'm saying, where did they come from? If he burnt all other copies and he only had one, where did the other ones come from?
The Prophet revealed it.
The Prophet revealed it.
But Uthman burnt them after he revealed it. So then where did they come from again? If the Prophet revealed 7, Uthman burnt everyone.
It's like almost exactly the same. Almost.
So what is the Qira'at?
Qira'at is recitation. That's different.
And what's the Aruf?
Araf is different from that.
What is it?
I'm not a scholarly expert.
Okay. Are you aware that your scholars have all differed on what it means? According
You
to...
speak to those scholars.
Huh?
I'm not a scholar.
Yeah, but I'm saying, are you aware? So within the Islamic scholarship, there's no agreement as to what an Aruf and a Qira'at is.
No, Qira'at, there is. Araf, I don't know. But that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
Of course, because if it's preserved, you would have to know what it is to identify what has been preserved. If you don't know what something is, how can you say it's preserved?
But that depends on what the definition is.
Exactly. So I'm saying to you, give me the definition.
But to us, it's preserved. It doesn't matter.
So that's why I said to you, give me a scholar or give me where you're getting that definition from.
We don't need a definition. God said it.
But you just said according to your definition. So I said, where did you get that definition? So how can he say there's a definition? He said, according to our definition.
There's a definition that he doesn't
What is the definition?
He doesn't know.
So how can he say definition? There isn't one, is my point. That's why I'm saying to him, if he disagrees with me, give me the evidence.
Are you saying what's the evidence for a Qur'an?
He said so he's saying the Quran's been preserved according to the Islamic narrative.
It has, yeah?
I said, give me a scholar or the Quran where it gives you the definition of what preservation is. Because I said all your scholars have disagreed about what the Qira and the Arif is. So how can we say...
How they disagree? There's different versions of the Qur'an. There's 7 Qur'ans. There's 7 different readings.
But there's 10 as well.
There's 7 different readings.
Ibn Mujahid from 7, and there was another 3 that was agreed.
Okay, fine. I'm
Do you
not sure
agree?
the names. I'm not sure the names. I'm not going to agree with you.
Okay, do you agree with me there's a disagreement?
You know how they're preserved, right? It's preserved by the oral
But I'm
tradition.
saying, where's the definition? No. I'm saying what exactly? Yes. To say, if you're saying it's been preserved, then let me see what the definition of, according to Islamic narrative, is from a scholar or the Quran.
Wait, so are you jumping from Ibn Mas'ud's Mus'haf? You made a point about the Mus'haf at Ibn Mas'ud.
Well, it's
I
gonna.
came, but that's not gonna-
Yeah, no, it's yeah, okay. If you want to address it, that's fine. No, but it's because we've jumped a bit. No, I'm saying Muslims cannot claim perfect preservation or letter for letter, dot for dot. You see? Do you agree with him? Wait. You're knowledgeable.
Preservation of the Quran, yes.
He's knowledgeable. He knows the scholarship. No, but he knows. Look, you've even got the book. But he knows. He's aware of what I'm aware. Is what I'm saying.
You're just talking about in a different of accents between Warsh and Hafs. So you're saying the Quran has not been preserved because of the different recitation.
I'm saying.
And I'm
You know
saying
how we
to
know?
you-
There's one way of preservation, right? Sorry, brother, to cut you off, right?
No, it's fine,
But
it's
basically, there is Qurans from the eastern area, China area, to also to western area, Western Asia, right? Well, what you want to call parts of Europe, right?
Right.
At around the same time Sahabas went to, the Quran is the same. They have those Qurans in Medina.
Okay.
You know that, right?
Let me address that.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I'm aware. Okay, let me show you something. So now, guys, I'm just going to.
But did you accept what I said? You have to.
I know. Yeah, there's a reason why they're the same.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I'm going to tell you something about. You can all check this yourself. The Cairo edition of the Quran. You can go to Wikipedia. I'm going to read what it says.
I would have trusted.
You can do your research.
He's from Cairo.
Are you from Egypt? Yeah. Okay. So it says. Let me get to the good part. This is Wikipedia. But you can research it. If you disagree, come back to me. But I'm just going to use Wikipedia as a starting point. No, but what I'm going to read to you is why you have a standardized Quran. Wait.
No. We have
Okay.
in Arabic. Don't understand that.
Where was the standard?
Huh?
Where was the standard?
It's not a standardization.
You read in every Quran. You read in every Quran.
But you know there was a standard.
It's already there from before.
Okay. What was put there from before?
That is the one that
No. Qira'ats exist. My brother, different Qira'ats exist today.
Seven.
There's standardization of the Quran. That's why I want to show you.
The
Way you will standardize.
Okay. Let me read it so you can hear.
Man of Affan
so-
collected it. Put it together. They have a problem.
So,
Clearly, I
so,
said it
so
50
let,
times.
let me
There's the
let me read, and you can all check when you go home and do your research. So, this is from Wikipedia. No, but I'm saying you can research your own sources. But you can research your own sources. What I'm saying is, if you disagree with it, my friend, if I read it out and you disagree, can you research it yourself? And you can come back to me and say this is what it should actually be, is what I'm saying.
Go and research on someone did it, that is it. I don't need to go and research
But-
because I know it's a camera.
But this is the whole point. What I'm saying is actually a fact and all scholars know it. You don't. So my point is, what is actually happening is I'm telling you that's a camera and you're saying, no. That's what I'm saying. No, it's the other way around. Anyway, I'm going to read it. Yeah.
Translated the name. Nobody has the right to change the name.
Yeah.
My name is Abdullah. I can't go to Jewish people and say, my name is
My point is there's a lie that's been said that every Quran is letter for letter, dot for dot the same, and the Quran has been perfectly preserved. So my point is to demonstrate that this is a blatantly false lie. That's what my point is.
What's the false
Now
lie?
the lie's been exposed.
Huh?
Now the lie's been exposed
Right.
here today. Now what?
Then now what? People will not propagate that lie anymore.
Okay.
Because we are, wait, let me read it. Let me read what I'm going to say. Now this is, wait, let me wait. Wait. So, this is from Wikipedia.
You use your critical thinking faculty.
Yes,
If we're
look,
right, you
wait,
can accept
so it
the truth,
says,
my brother.
wait, let me read it.
Okay, let
No, I know, I'm aware of this. So
You're
look,
aware that I can go into Wikipedia
wait,
now
I
and change
know,
that.
I can find an official source, but I'm just doing it for summary purposes. So it says, a committee of leading professors from Al-Azhar University, which you know in Egypt, had started work on the project in 1907, but it was not until 10th of July in 1924 that the Cairo Quran was first published by Amiri Press under the patronage of Fuad I of Egypt. As such, it is sometimes known as the Royal Edition. The goal of the government of the newly formed Kingdom of Egypt was not to delegitimize the other Qur'at, but to eliminate that which the colophon labels as errors found in Quranic texts used in state schools. To do this, they chose to preserve one of the 14 Qur'at readings, namely that of Hafs, student of Asim. Its publication has been called terrific success, and the edition has been described as one now widely seen in official texts of the Quran. So popular amongst both Sunni and Shia that the common belief among less well-informed Muslims is that the Quran has a single unambiguous reading, i.e. that of the 1924 Cairo version. Minor amendments were made later. So my point was, when you talk about China and Egypt, the reason why they're the same is because there was a standardization, which now 90% of Muslims use the Hafs version. So what happened, let me just finish, was what happened in state schools in Egypt is that students were coming up with different answers based on the different readings. And because it caused too much confusion, they decided to standardize the Quran. So they used the Hafs one as the de facto one. So that's what was published and went around Saudi Arabia and around the world. So that's why when Muslims read and they hear someone in a different country hearing the same thing, they think it's a preservation. No, but it's down to the standardization of the text. That's why they're not always aware. Exactly. But that's why they're not aware of the other readings, is what I'm trying to say.
But you know what the other readings are, brother?
Yes.
You know why there was other readings?
Yes. Well, according to scholarship, according to your hadith, Muhammad said there was 7 aruf, 7 recitations.
Yeah, why were there 7 recitations?
Why?
Yeah, why? Yeah. So we've established there's 7.
Yes.
But why were there 7?
Well, the scholarship disagrees from the Islamic narrative.
No, they don't.
Okay, so
I'm in complete agreement of why there's different ones. The reason why there's different ones is because there were different dialects of the Arabic language. So at that time, when they were reciting the Quran, when the Quran had actually really finished,
right.
the dialect in Yemen was very different from the dialect in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
They were talking actually, like some of the letters they would replace them completely. So you'd have something like the ha would be a lamb. Yeah? So then any word that would have a ha in it, you'd have to change it to a lamb and it would sound different.
Okay. And it caused disputes amongst some of the Muslims because they heard the Quran being recited differently.
I've never heard that it caused disputes. I've never heard that it caused disputes. The only thing that I've heard is that they understood that, okay, this is a Yemeni guy.
Okay.
He speaks in this way.
Right.
But what he's saying, the words that he's saying, is exactly the same word that he's saying here, but it's in his different dialect. Now, somebody at that time from Habash, from Somalia at that time, I think, Ethiopia, they had a completely different dialect. So it would sound slightly different.
Right. So now let me ask you this: where did the dialect originate from?
The original dialect.
Yeah.
Because it's spread around to different countries, right? And then people picked up their recitation.
So you're saying they were just changing the Quran recitation?
No, they weren't changing it.
So that's why I said, where did it come from?
So the original dialect would be the original what
was the Quraysh dialect.
What Rasul ﷺ would recite to the people.
Right.
Yeah, and what they would memorize. So I would say something to you, you'd repeat that exact same thing.
So what
That's
dialect? But wait,
that's the dialect.
just so we start. just to interject, what dialect did your prophet speak? It was Quraysh.
Quraysh is the tribe.
Yeah.
Quraysh is the tribe he's from.
Yeah,
Family of the
so
tribe.
that was the dialect they would have spoken, right?
Is the Quran?
Because that's where he's
I don't know
from.
what the name of the dialect was spoken at the
Okay,
time.
but let's just say it was Quraysh. But let's just say from those people.
We can assume that, yeah, fine.
Let's just give it a name, Quraysh.
We can't
Right?
do that. We can't do that.
Okay, no problem. Let me simplify. Okay,
So what
let me just interject.
The answer to your
Okay,
question
right.
is which one was it? Is what you see is the mainstream Quran today.
Right. So this is my.
And however you hear that being recited in most mosques today, that's what it was.
But this is what I'm saying. This is not true. But let's go with that. If if the prophet revealed the Quran in one dialect, right?
No, he didn't.
Right, okay, no.
He revealed in multiple qira'ats.
Okay, no problem. Multiple. We'll go with 7
Okay.
as the hadith. Now, did Uthman burn the Qurans?
Yes.
So when he had one left, how many qira'ats were in that one? Because he only had one.
Still the multiple number.
How would it all be in the one Quran?
Because no words different. The words are not actually different. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the words are different. There's something called, is it tanween? What not tanween?
The diacritical marks.
Yeah, the diacritical. What do they call them in Arabic? What are the words? Anyway, they're basically vowels.
Right.
Right? Yeah, and then sometimes you extend
The vowelization, yes.
Like we say Maliki Yawmiddin,
Yes.
Maliki Yawmiddin,
Yeah.
or Maliki Yawmiddin.
So you're saying that.
Wait. That's two different readings. Wait. That's two different readings, right? That's two different readings, right? If you read it, if you look on paper without the vowels, it's the same thing. But you can read it two different ways.
Yeah.
And if you read it two different ways, it's actually two different meanings
Right.
that complement each other. One
Right.
is the owner,
Yeah.
right? Maliki Yawmiddin, right? One is the owner, and one is the king. One is the king.
Yeah.
Nothing goes against each other.
You see, back in the day though, when this first was revealed, you
Yeah,
didn't
but
have
this
that.
is-
You
this
didn't have
is-
those vowels.
Exactly.
You didn't have the dots.
We didn't have
Right. That's
they
why I
came much
said, where
later.
did the vowel, the pronunciation come? Because if there was no dots,
Yeah,
because you
look
need
at
the
the
dots
mountain,
for the.
In your book.
We need it. We
They
need it.
the dots.
We
Their
need it. We
level
need
of
the
Arabic
dots.
didn't need no dots.
Yeah,
Actually, if
me
you
and
send
you, we need
somebody
the
a
dots.
letter,
He
you know,
doesn't
back
need
in the
it. Me
day,
and you.
if you send somebody, no, I still need them. If you send somebody a letter back in the
Your
day,
book has a
with dots
mountain
on
of
them,
errors.
Right.
it's a declaration of war.
So are you aware that some of the early Sahaba were quarreling, who were from the same tribe, about the pronunciation? And that's when they went to the Prophet, and that's why he said.
I never heard quarreling. I've never heard the word quarreling.
I wouldn't use the word
I never heard the word quarreling.
I haven't.
I wouldn't use the word quarrel.
I need to see the hadiths.
Yes.
Everything's preserved for us, right?
Let me.
But even if they were, they might have some disputes, right?
Yeah.
Because there was one hadith where the Prophet ﷺ was talking to a particular person from a tribe,
Yeah.
and he said some different words. I can't remember, yeah.
his dialect.
And then the Sahaba was like, "What's this guy saying?" And the Prophet ﷺ replied to him in his dialect. Did you hear what I said?
Wait. Sorry. Let me just.
Can't do two things at once. I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Give me 1
I'm saying,
second.
no, I'm saying. Are you Christian or atheist or something? What's
Christian.
your background?
Christian,
yeah?
yeah. JC, do you have the hadith when they were disagreeing about the recitation of the Quran and they had to go to Muhammad? Do you remember that one?
Every week it's like another one.
different modes or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Let him talk. He seems genuinely interested. Are you genuinely interested or are you just trying to shut down Islam? Like, attempt to? Or are you genuinely interested
I'm all of
finding
the above. I'm all of the
Trying to
above.
find the truth.
Yeah, but I want you to find the truth as well. I'll be becoming Paperboy.
What's your name? What's your name?
Paperboy, that's
Sure.
what my nickname.
Paperboy.
Is this your first time here?
No, I live in London, but I live in another country. I'm
Okay.
from London, but I live
Okay.
in another country.
So yeah, expand on your point that you were saying.
What was the point we finished on? Sorry, apologies. Yeah, we were saying dialects. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So the Prophet ﷺ came to somebody, a village person, and he said something to him in Arabic, and the other Sahaba with the Prophet ﷺ were like, "What did he just say?" And the Prophet ﷺ responded in that dialect.
Okay, yeah.
That's the one.
No, where they dragged him by the neck to the Sahab. I forget who it was. With it off, the two Sahabas were fighting about how they had heard the recitation of the.
There's no dispute though, Paperboy. Yeah. There's no dispute.
In what sense?
There's no dispute on this in the early Sahabas. There's no evidence of that. There was dispute. They understood the different qira'ats. They all learned the different qira'ats. And let me tell you one thing. I went to Saudi Arabia in December. Right?
Yeah.
I went to Mecca, and I went and I saw how they actually do. You got to listen to this though.
Yeah.
You're tapping away. I won't be
Okay,
gonna have
go
to hear,
on.
right? So I went to the Mecca and I looked at how the oral tradition continues.
Yeah.
And I saw one person receive it. They have to go to a school or with a sensei, a teacher who's read this thousands and thousands of times with his own teacher before he gets a certificate.
Right.
And once he gets a certificate, I've got it on my phone somewhere, and it shows you the Prophet ﷺ was given to this person, right? And then it was given to this person, and then it was given to this person, and then after I think it's 33 where we're at right now, roughly 33rd in the chain.
Yeah.
This person receives it from this teacher after he's read thousands and thousands of times, and then he did the khatam, which is the finishing of the Quran, and then after that he got a certificate. I witnessed it, I saw it. So that's how the oral tradition is preserved. Once you've done that, you can do a different kirat if you want to. What you've done one year. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's a modern practice now, but the problem is let me finish. Let me finish. Yeah, I know. You didn't let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm saying when you go back to the early history of Islam, it wasn't as a robust system as that.
What do you mean early
So,
history?
for example,
What do you mean early history?
the Quran that you read today,
Yeah.
which the most common one is the Hafs recitation.
Okay.
According
I
to
need double check
scholars,
that, sure, huh? I don't know that.
the earliest manuscript we can find is about the 4th century
Okay.
Maybe-
And manuscript of what?
of the Hafs Quran.
Of the 4th century?
Yeah, it's quite very late.
4th century, the Islam wasn't even
No,
existing. Right?
so as in the 4th century of
Hijri
yeah.
the Islamic calendar, okay.
So it comes very late because what the point is, if man standardized the Quran, if that was because people used the parchment and the oral, what we should find would be early evidence that people were using that as a mainstream recitation. So if we only find, we have earlier manuscripts than the 4th century, 4th century Hijra.
Okay.
But none of them,
Islamic manuscripts.
yeah.
Okay.
But none of them, the early ones, conform to the ones that you're using. So even though it's popular now, that's why I say the standardization. So I'm saying now, people can say, oh, so. I'm trying to say in the earlier centuries of the Hijra, we do not see that same consistency. There was a lot of confusion in terms of even the canonization, the official seven Qur'an came about 600 years after Hijra. It was very late. Ibn Mujahid.
The 7 Qur'an came 600 years after
Let me
Hijra.
find it.
How can that be
Yeah.
so?
Let me.
Prophet recited the different Qur'ans.
Okay, let me hold on.
You can't use Wikipedia as your sources to learn
I can use.
I'm not attacking you. I'm
Yeah.
because you seem genuine. You want to learn, but you can't be using Wikipedia to look for Islamic things, right?
Anyone
Honestly, you
who goes
cannot.
to Wikipedia and
You cannot.
The only reason I use it is I know it's
not
for
attacking you.
summarization.
I'm just saying, yeah, I understand, but you need to go to Islamic sources online, bro.
Okay.
Yes, I want to ask you because you keep mentioning that scholars have said this. Which
Yeah.
scholars are they?
So in terms of for example, what the difference between Aruf and Qiraat are, which Muslims keep appealing to, Al-Qadi, very prominent Islamic scholar from maybe about the 10th, 11th century, I'm not sure, basically said there's about 30, 40 different definitions of what the difference is, because scholars, even from Al-Tabari, I don't know if you're aware of Al-Tabari is, he couldn't agree on what the exact definition was. So in early history of Islam, the early scholars used to say preservation was from corruption from the jinns and whatnot. They didn't say it was, no one said,
Preservation was from the jinns.
as in,
Corruption was from the jinns.
no, as in the Quran is preserved from their interference. They'd
Quran
never,
is preserved from jinn interference.
yeah, that's what they
I've
understood.
never heard that in my life.
Al-Tabari. No one ever said, so,
Imam Tabari. I've never heard that
So-
in my life.
and look this up, you don't have to take my word
Are
for
you
it, but
sure? Yeah.
no scholar, early scholar said it meant the letter for letter, dot for dot preservation of the textual stability of the recitation. They all differ upon what the meaning was.
My friend, but what's the point here? Like, what's the
Right.
You're trying to do,
what's
Yeah.
the point of refuting that there's a mainstream qira'ah for the Quran? Let's say
Yeah.
that there's 7 and the 7 are mainstream. What's
Right.
the point? Like,
Because-
have you found the contradiction in the Quran?
Yeah,
that's
because
what I see, exactly.
the first point is we're all here to discuss truth.
Okay.
So when people make an argument for Islam saying the evidence of a miracle, the perfect preservation, or Allah's a miracle
preservation.
is the perfect
Okay.
preservation of the Quran.
Okay.
So then I have to address that and say what is preservation, and basically take apart that notion that this is actually a false notion.
No,
because
I wanted to
let me
take
just
it-
finish.
I want to take it to the end.
Yeah, but let me just finish.
You
let me just
refuted the
let me just
preservation.
finish. As my gentleman has said, if you go to China and you go to Saudi Arabia, it's the same. So he was under that same impression, which I think a lot of Muslims have been lied to, and that's how they've sold Islam on the perfect preservation.
Let's
So
say
at
we've been
least
lied to.
to have honest conversations, we need to talk about what actually happened.
But how,
Okay, no, it's okay. That's fine.
but
Yeah.
okay, so what actually happened? Hold on. So do you know what actually happened?
So in terms of the early years of Islam, there was a lot of disagreements because you had, for example, and you can look this up
Talking about the time of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
just afterwards, after
Just
he
after
died.
he died.
The time of the Khalifa
Okay.
Rashid.
Yeah,
of Abu Bakr,
of Uthman. So around the,
Abu Bakr was right after.
so the time of Uthman, there was disagreements
We're
because
talking a couple of
Let him answer, let him answer.
yeah, so when Uthman compiled the Quran, there was disagreements as what should the Quran should be.
Okay.
For example, there were several companions that had different amounts of surahs in their Qurans.
Okay.
One of the most prominent was Ibn Masud, and there was a very big disagreement between Ibn Masud. And this is why, because if you had Uthman standardize the Quran and have one, and that's why I asked you where did the dialects come from.
Hold on,
So-
but
so-
look, there's one point here that we need to address. Though.
Right.
You said that there was a dispute and like some Sahabas had different number of ayat,
Of surahs.
surah, so whole chapters.
Yeah, some had 114, some had 116. So some of the du'as were included in
Verses. You say some of the
No,
verses. were-
you say some of them were ayat.
yeah, were
Okay, so-
included.
okay, so-
that's why they had 116. Ibn
So,
Masud had
okay, so
116.
do we have a copy of this 116 surah Quran?
No, that's lost.
We don't
But
have
it's in
that
Islamic text.
Okay.
So some Islamic text refers to it,
The scholars, yeah. So some of
but
your
we don't have it today.
no,
We have the 114 today.
yes.
Everywhere is 114. Nobody has any more, any less.
In terms of some of the manuscripts, because remember we don't. In terms of old manuscript, you don't have the complete Quran. It might be pages. So, for example, you have the Birmingham manuscript. I don't know if you're aware of that. That's like the oldest.
Okay, is that 114 surahs?
It's just a parchment. It's just a page. It's the oldest extant Quran that we
So you're
have.
saying it's just a parchment?
Birmingham manuscript is the oldest Quran we have.
Yeah.
There was nothing around called Birmingham at that time, bro.
No, but that's where it's stored.
Are you
in
saying
Birmingham.
that's what, the one that they
No,
got from
that's
Turkey?
what they call it.
You're saying that's the one that they got from Turkey?
The British.
No, that's the.
Falling
That's
in
the.
Birmingham.
Is it?
Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
But it's
No,
okay,
because
let's-
you've got the
We have
Tash.
very old
No,
manuscripts in
it's
the Prophet's
okay, it's
mosque.
okay.
You know that? Which you
Yeah.
can't go to. You're not allowed to go there, but they have it in there. Muslims can go there and see.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how old that one is.
Hold
No,
on,
but
let
that's
me-
where it's stored. That's why it's called
I'm trying to
Birmingham.
get.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get to the
Way
gist
before
of
that.
what you're trying to say.
Right.
So this manuscript that you're telling me is in Birmingham. It's just parchment. Are you saying it
Yes.
hasn't separated the surahs?
No, because it's not complete Quran.
It's not complete either.
No.
So we should really just.
No, but that's evidence
Really
as
and
the
truly, so really and truly,
historicity.
let me tell you, really and truly, that Birmingham manuscript,
Yeah.
because it's not complete, it needs to be thrown away.
Yeah, but but because of history, we always have like pages
that's
here
how
and there.
Muslims are going to deal with that, mate.
And also, one thing you're not signing off for, one thing, this is even if I'm not going to say anything about this out because I don't know, right?
Right.
But even if someone was to make a mistake at the time, who was leading at that time?
In what time?
Who was leading at the time? You're saying that these
Of Uthman.
discrepancies take place. Who?
Are you saying the time of
Yeah,
Uthman?
exactly. Who was it? Who was signing off on this?
Uthman?
Yeah, and who was this man?
Huh?
Who was this man?
Yeah, he was the caliph.
And what was his name? What are they collectively named?
Yeah. The rightly
Don't give
guided
me the
one.
answer.
The rightly guided
one.
Yes.
So they are allowed to make those decisions at the time.
Right.
Because they're being rightly guided by the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam himself, right?
How
Wait,
does that affect us today
hold
is what
on.
I'm trying to get to.
Did he receive divine revelation?
Who received the revelation?
Uthman.
No.
So who was guiding
He
him?
he held the revelations, of course. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam received the revelations.
Right.
No one but the Prophet.
So he
Sallallahu Alaihi
doesn't have the authority to
Wasallam.
then.
Of course, he has the authority.
On what
That's what
sense?
he's trying to say.
He's the
He's trying to say that
Rashidun,
what he's saying is
the four
because
rightly
they are
guided caliphs.
because they are the rightly guided caliphs,
Right.
they have the authority to make those decisions.
Of course.
Just like today, if something new comes up that they didn't have back in that day, we have scholars that are allowed to make judgments on these situations, like cigarettes, for example. You
Right.
didn't have cigarettes at the time of the Prophet, so how do you make a decision on whether cigarettes are forbidden or not?
Yeah.
All
You
this
have
digital
people-
AI stuff
but
nowadays.
here-
All this digital
but then
AI
here-
stuff, you have scholars that are
but
allowed
then
to
here
make
comes the problem
that
because
decision.
there were multiple versions.
You're allowed to disagree.
Yeah, but there was
Scholars
because
are allowed to disagree with each
but
other.
because some of the companions had different versions of the Quran, and even with different surahs.
They disagreed on some issues.
And so, for example, the case of Ibn Masud, he didn't want to give up his codex. The only reason he did it, he didn't want to give up his codex because he had it written down.
At the end of the day, he did.
Because for the unity of the, because of the unity.
Yeah, but these guys weren't the rightly guided caliphs.
But here's the problem. So after he gave his up, his students still used his version. This is where you actually get the variance in the recitations
So
from.
students of Ibn Masud still use it.
Yes.
So,
So that's why
deviants.
no.
They are deviants.
Well, that's
They're
why.
deviating
But
from
that's
the
where.
original. It's literally the definition, right?
Okay.
They deviated from the norm, right? Am I
Actually,
correct?
yeah, no.
Paperboy, come on, let's be honest.
Actually,
I like you
I'm gonna
because you seem
I'm gonna
honest,
actually
right?
make an easier
Let's
point
discuss
for
the
you.
problem. Let's discuss this.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They're
slightly.
deviating. They're deviating.
I want to discuss.
Wait, but I want to slightly change
What I want to
the-
discuss is how this point. Let's say you've got all of these deviant versions of the Quran.
Right.
How does that affect us today?
Because and this is why I started in terms of if your belief is based on you believe that the Quran is a miracle because of the preservation.
Okay.
That is one. There may be other. Let's say there's 5 pillars. I know not the Islamic 5 pillars, but let's just say four.
Let's say
Let's say
there are five pillars.
five main aspects.
Okay.
If that is one, then it can't be used anymore because we've
Okay,
now
I'm not
looked
gonna
at
use that
them.
anymore.
So then it
I'm
would.
not going to use that anymore.
Yeah.
Are you
Not
trying
use
to
what- not use
refute?
what anymore, sorry.
Are you trying to refute the whole Quran because of that one point?
Well,
Is that what we're doing here?
No, I'm starting off with the preservation only.
Okay.
There's other areas.
What's your end game, my friend? Are you trying to say the Quran is not divine because of that point?
No, not because of that point.
Because of
There-
other points with that?
I would say the Quran is not divine because Muhammad is not a prophet. That is what the argument I would make. So if I'm talking about the preservation, that's not got nothing to do
Okay.
with Muhammad's a
That's-
prophet
that's
or not.
another issue altogether.
Exactly.
Yeah?
That's what I'm saying. You said what was
But
my
then
objective.
what's the point
Yeah.
of refuting the preservation of the Quran?
Because if people telling me that,
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen. And this is Speaker's Corner, for example. I'm not going to take it as the truth when I know it's not the truth.
Okay, so what if I tell you that the Quran was not preserved through written ways?
Well, you would be appealing to an oral tradition which we have no evidence for. So I would say the claim.
But we do
No, but
have
he's going to say oral tradition.
Yeah, but
but
we
I
do
cannot
have
go to the
evidence for it.
1st century and ask someone to
Because
recite it.
Because you weren't there.
So we don't have empirical
Because you
evidence.
weren't there, yeah?
But the only evidence that we have
But because you
is the
weren't there,
written
right?
one, which
Sure.
disagrees
No,
with the oral
But is
tradition.
it not an evidence, yeah, for me to tell you that the evidence of there being an oral tradition, of saying, my oral tradition of me saying something to Shah over here,
Right.
my evidence that this was preserved orally is that somebody on the other side of the park says the exact same thing that I just said to Shah.
But we started with that, and that's why I went to the Cairo edition of the Quran to explain why we came to that understanding.
I'm saying something to Shah now. I'm
Yeah.
saying it's like Chinese whispers.
Yes.
Yeah? I'm telling him, go around, all of these people say the exact same sentence. I'm going to come back a week later.
Right.
I'm going to get somebody from the other side of the park, and I'm going to tell them to tell me the exact same sentence.
So-
and if they come back with the exact same sentence, would that not be evidence to you that this was preserved?
No,
orally?
but that's why you missed what I said. That's why I said when you spoke about Saudi Arabia, I said yes, for now it's a very robust system. But that cannot be applied to the early centuries because when we look at the evidence, it's in complete disagreement. So 2 people agreeing today is not evidence that in the second century of Hijrah they agreed.
Let me take you another step there.
Right.
Yeah? So, say I say something to Shah today,
Right.
and then 50 years down the line, somebody repeats the exact same sentence.
Yes.
Would that be oral preservation?
You could argue yes.
No, I don't want to hear you.
No,
argue yes.
let's just say yes.
I want to hear
Let's
yes
just
or
say
no.
yes.
Why let's just say yes,
No,
man?
yeah, I'm going to say.
What did your mind just
Yeah,
tell you?
I'm going to say.
What did your mind just tell
Yeah,
you?
I'm going to. No,
What
but
did
for
your mind just tell you? Listen to your mind.
no, but for simplicity, I'll say yes. But the problem
Not
is.
for simplicity. I don't want
Yeah,
simplicity.
I'll tell you why for simplicity. Because when we go back to the past, Brother. My friend, bro. Come. Chill. Yeah, so as I was saying,
I've got to the point.
Yeah, but his point was, but this is the problem.
Huh.
He said if we go 50 years in the future,
Yeah, but you're
I'm
going
saying
back.
when we go 50 years in the past,
No, but when you go
it's
back,
the
it's
opposite.
preserved.
So
No, it's not.
if in the future it means it's preserved,
Listen.
if we go 50 years before and it's not, then it means it's not preserved.
Hold on.
I'm just using the
Hold
inverse.
on. Okay, I'm using the inverse now as well.
Okay, go on.
I gave you the future one to prove you the past one.
No,
the
you
past
can't
one,
do
I'll
that.
tell you how. The past one, where's the oldest written version of the Quran?
It's the Birmingham manuscript, right?
No, you told me that's not. You
The
told me
Birmingham
that's not
manuscript is the
complete.
oldest.
Just another day at Speaker's Corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon, but I'm gonna have to go. But are you here next week?
Where's the? Oh, I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't like coming here and getting dragged into this debate.
Okay.
Listen.
So-
So where's
yeah.
the oldest complete version of
It's
the
the
Quran?
Birmingham, right?
No, it's not the Birmingham because you just told me it's not.
Manuscript
it's not,
of the Quran.
You just told me it's not complete.
It's the Birmingham.
You
What about
told me
the?
it's not complete.
I don't think so.
Oh no, it's not complete. No.
Then it can't be the
Okay,
version
what's
of the
the
Quran, bro.
complete Quran?
Complete.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'm telling you this.
Not the full
Muslims
Quran.
that
I don't
exist
know.
inside in Medina,
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get that complete version of the Quran,
Right.
and you're gonna find that it's the exact same words that somebody in China is reciting
Would you agree with
today.
that?
Yeah, but
and it
listen,
was
but
written
listen.
when?
I don't know. That's what I'm
You
saying.
just told me like
No,
400 years
No,
after
but
Hijrah, bro.
listen to what I
So you're
said.
talking like 1,000 years ago.
No, listen to
So
what.
1,000 years ago, something was written, and today I'm reciting the exact same thing.
No, but
Is
listen.
that not proof of preservation?
Yeah,
through
but
oral
we would have
tradition?
to listen to. First of all, I appeal to the Birmingham manuscript.
Did you hear my
right?
question?
Yeah, but I'm answering. But listen to what I'm saying.
You can't appeal to something that's not complete, bro.
Yeah, let me answer and listen to what I'm saying. I appeal.
what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I appeal to the Birmingham manuscript. He said he
not
was.
complete.
Wait, chill,
That's not Quran, bro.
chill. Let's be like the Fonz. Now, I appeal to the Birmingham manuscript. He said it's not a complete Quran.
Okay.
So then he said, what is the earliest complete Quran?
Yes.
I said, I don't know off the top
fair
of my
enough,
head.
fair
I asked him, he doesn't.
Yeah.
So he's saying the earliest Quran is the same as today. If I don't know what that is, how can I agree with that statement? Is basically what I was getting to. Because we would have to look at what that is, then compare it to make to answer that question.
Why are the manuscripts relevant though?
Because I'm saying Muslims appeal to the oral tradition.
Yeah.
We do not have any empirical evidence to support the oral tradition. It's just take my
I've
word
already
and
told
believe
you.
it.
You want to see it? Let me
But
show you.
wait,
I'll show you right now.
so when we look at the manuscript
That's one
evidence,
single sheet of parchment or one.
it's
Manuscript
all,
evidence isn't
Bro,
relevant.
like, that's not-
of course
None
it
of them
is.
have scribe words in them. That's not an evidence.
Yeah, but then you don't have any evidence apart from trust me, bro.
Where'd you get that from?
Because when you say we have oral tradition, can I go to the 2nd century after Hijrah Muslim and get him to recite?
He doesn't want to give me the-
So then what's
the
my
oldest-
evidence?
It keeps bringing me up this Birmingham thing.
When it comes to oral tradition, can oral tradition be tested?
No,
can't be tested.
exactly.
No, I'm asking you. You said it can't be tested.
No, it
You've
can't.
got the Blue Quran, yeah, written in the late 9th century.
Yeah.
Early 10th century.
When's that?
Arabic, 9th century and 10th century, bro.
That's like 300
like-
years to 200 years.
From now. No, 10th century.
Yes.
We're in the 21st century.
Yeah, so that's 200
So it's
years
1,000
after.
years, bro.
Yeah, the Quran.
That's 1,000 years ago.
Muhammad was the 7th century. So 9th
So
century.
200 years after
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when that was. So you're talking about
But does
1,200
it-
years ago.
but does-
So you're talking about 1,200 years ago. something that I'm reciting today was
Right.
written 1200 years ago.
So I'm saying, have you seen that to look that it's exactly the same? And you're assuming, that's my point. You're assuming that the letters and the way it's written is
We
exactly
need to
the
do some
same.
traveling then, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you...
That's
you book-
all I'm saying.
You book the tickets.
No, you
Let
can
me
look
know when you
online
wanna
though.
go,
No,
and
but
we'll go, man.
what I ask you to do is, because you can normally see these manuscripts online.
It's in Tunis, isn't it?
Right. So this one doesn't even have the diacritical marks. Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't like...
was not written with
I know,
diacritical.
but the recitation, and the qiraat are based on the.
I understand what your dispute is.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't have the dots.
How do you read
and we
it?
need the dots.
Yes.
Then how do I make sure that I'm reading that transcript correctly?
Thank you very much.
And how is it the same
Very
as
simple.
what I'm reading now?
ways of reading it. That's the point.
Yeah, but it has to be according to what you believe the 7 aruf.
Here's the mad thing.
Yeah, the
Here's-
there's aruf and qiraat, and there's no agreement between what the relationship between the two is.
Here's the thing, bro. Here's
So
the
you
thing,
have
brother.
something called.
I'll tell
Let me
you
just.
why you know this.
Let me just address him, and then I'm
Okay,
going
go
to
on.
let you respond. There's something called aruf,
Okay.
and there's something called qiraat.
Okay.
There is no exact definition of what the relationship between the two is.
There isn't. Paperboy.
Huh?
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
I know.
But let me explain
I know,
to you.
I know.
Let me
There
explain
isn't.
to you
Yeah.
how this here without the dots.
Well, let him,
Malish,
and then
Malish,
you,
so
and
when?
then just
You
for
know how when you read the English now,
right.
you don't need all of the letters in the middle. You know
Okay.
how
Yeah,
you
you
know
can
how they
read-
can be jumbled up.
Yeah.
But you need the first letter and the last letter to read the word.
Yes.
Yeah? And you read it correctly as you're reading it.
Yeah.
But all the letters in the middle could be jumbled up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You read it. Why do you read it correctly? Because it's the only way that it makes sense in English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the same way, the Arabic, the only way that that word is going to make sense in that sentence
Mm-hmm.
is if that word is read in that way.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why you don't need those dots, because however way you put those dots in that word,
Yeah.
it has to make sense with the sentence.
Okay.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
There's only one word that's going to fit there.
Okay.
And that's why they didn't need any dots. And that's why you can bring anybody now that's got that high level of Arabic, can still read without the dots, and will still read that correctly the same way that I'm reading it.
But they won't read it exactly the same. Some people
No,
will.
there might be slight differences.
Right.
But there will never be a contradiction.
It's no different word.
You know what I'm trying to
That's
say?
a new.
No.
The contradiction.
You don't
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying then?
No, I understand,
See-
but contradiction is a different
it's
topic.
because- look, it's like you said before. There's a difference between Malik
Yes,
and Malik.
right.
Yeah. But there's no other word that can be in there except for Malik or Malik.
Yes.
Only those two.
Right.
There's no contradiction in them, is
Yeah.
there?
Well,
And
okay.
either way, I'm
If
going to
I-
recite to you.
Okay,
400 years later,
wait, okay.
I'm going to say to you,
Wait,
Malik
okay.
or Malik.
So
I'm
wait.
gonna say to you
All
one
right.
of the
Now
two.
wait. Now, if I buy this, what does it make me?
It makes you an owner of an iPad.
Does it make me the king of the iPad?
It makes you the owner of the iPad.
But does it make me the
It makes
king?
you, hold on, it makes you the king of that iPad.
Hold on.
No, come on
No,
now.
bro.
Wait,
Thing is,
wait.
you're a man, you're a human.
Yeah.
King can be applied to God, like regardless.
Yeah.
He's the king of everything that
But
he
what's your dispute here with the word king?
No, but I'm saying king and owner is not. This, you're trying to say they're synonymous.
Hold on.
No,
you-
they're not interchangeable.
They can be used,
No, hold
yeah.
on,
Okay.
hold on. They're not interchangeable, but they complement each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Yes or no?
Right.
If that's part of the beauty of the Quran, it can have both meanings.
No problem. I don't have a problem with
Look,
that. I don't have a problem with that.
here's-
But
here's-
again,
here's-
yeah.
there's a verse in the Quran
Right.
that says if you took the oceans of the world
Right.
and turned them into ink
Right.
and started writing with them, that ocean
Yeah.
will run out before the words of Allah will run out. Even if you bring another ocean like it. Yeah? Do you understand what that means?
No.
That means that every word in
Right.
that Quran, you're going to bring out so much. But brother, just the 7 verses of Al-Fatiha,
Right.
scholars will spend 8-9 hours
Okay.
explaining to you what that means. Why? I'm only reciting that in maybe 30 seconds.
Right.
Tops.
So if the
Why are
Qur-
they taking 9 hours to explain?
But then if the Quran says
Why
it's a
are-
clear book, why would you
why
spend
are-
9 hours?
No, it's clear. It's clear.
What do you mean? What's your question?
bro.
He said
Yeah, I heard what he said,
scholars,
but I'm listening to
but I'm
you.
saying if the Quran says it's a...
I think you're going off at a
No, but I'm...
Listen.
All right.
Here's the fact. yeah?
Let's last 5 minutes and we'll wrap up.
All right. When the
It can
Quran,
be clear, you can also have a lot of depth if you're going to it.
okay. When
But if they have different
let
interpretations.
when the
Okay.
Quran was compiled,
Right.
Uthman.
Yes.
Yeah? Simple. They did 5 copies and sent them out.
Now, before...
Oh, wait.
Wait. I just want to ask one question for emphasis. Was it in different dialects or was it in one dialect when they sent
No,
it
he's
out?
using one
No,
dialect.
it's
He's using
okay.
one dialect.
It's those were without the diacritical marks.
Okay, without.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can consider them ahraf neutral.
Okay,
Yeah?
no problem.
All right. So 5 copies were made and they
Yeah.
were disseminated out.
Right.
From those, other copies were made and disseminated out.
Right.
Yeah. It went all the way to China.
Right.
And all the way to Morocco.
Yeah.
It wasn't called China and Morocco
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
time.
no problem.
Okay.
No
So
problem.
you get somebody from China and somebody from Morocco, and they're reciting the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is an oral tradition. Yeah. Now to demonstrate that, right? Half of the Quran.
Not all of it, no.
Some of it, yeah? Okay, you'll know this. Here's the surah. Yeah? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح.
Let him recite. He's
Let me
that's
finish.
fine. I don't understand what you're saying, so if he joins in, it doesn't
ورأيت
matter to me.
الذين.
Right on that.
There you go. I made a mistake. I made a deliberate
I
mistake, and he
corrected
corrected
Right.
me. Yeah.
But
I don't know him. He doesn't
but
know
we go.
me.
Yeah, but the problem with
Yeah?
that we've already addressed because you're reciting the halves, he's reciting the halves. So he knows. That's why we started this with the Quran.
You know
one.
the
Because we
difference.
can't go back
Hold
in
on,
time,
hold on.
Right.
then
You
we
know the
can't
difference between
verify
Hafs
that.
and Warsh, yeah?
Yes.
It's so minimal.
But here,
It's so minimal
how?
that it's like 0.000.
but here's, I know what. But here's his biggest
difference.
But here's his biggest problem. That is actually the biggest problem. Why? Now, if I go to America, American have a different dialect from English. For example, if we look at the word organization, in Europe we use, or in England we use an S. In
America they use Z.
Yeah, fine.
yeah, actually I'll give you an easy one.
No, that's easy enough, go ahead.
No, in England,
same word.
in England we use trousers. In America they use pants.
Right.
Now, what we wouldn't expect, and which is what we find in the Quran, which is an anomaly, is that if we had an American book, we would find every single instance where they're supposed to use they would use pants.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have
English,
pants.
what's the problem?
Wait, let me finish.
English
Wait,
alone.
let me finish. In America, like if we had America, let's say let's say we had. Let me finish. If we have Harry Potter, it's written in American. No, but listen, just listen to my point, and you will understand it.
Putting J.K. Rowling on the
Wait,
I'm just objecting to Harry Potter.
Okay, let's say we've got James Bond.
Okay.
No, keep your pants and trousers. Simple as
Yeah.
that,
So and every time in James Bond in the English version they use trousers. For the American dialect they have to use pants because they won't understand trousers.
So what's the problem with
So therefore we would expect every time in the English and the American one it's 100% use
Pants or trousers?
pants. No, they can't use trousers.
pants.
What we find in when Muslims say with the Quranic dialect, we find jumbled up dialects. So what we would find is that page 1 they say pants. Page 2, they say trousers. Now this would be inconsistent with a dialect.
No, it's different.
Now,
Listen,
wait. Let me finish.
That doesn't
Let me
happen,
finish.
and I think you know that
Let me
doesn't
finish. Let me finish. There's a scholar called. I'll make my last point, and I write this name down. Haytham Sidki. He's a Sidki. He has done the research on the dialects. And it's his research of where the origin of the dialects, where they came from. So he's looked at, for example, each dialect is supposed to be for a different region, Yemen, Iraq, whatnot. What he's done, he's studied the text, and he's shown that actually within the text there is jumbled up dialects that shows that they borrowed from elsewhere, meaning they are not strictly.
Who borrowed from elsewhere?
So okay, if you have a Yemeni text, a Yemen dialect, it should all be.
You're presuming that this was handwritten. You're
No,
presuming
but
it's coming from people.
no, but listen to what I'm saying. Wait. Let me just make my point. Regardless, because if, for example, in Yemen,
This is the intellectual conversation I was looking for earlier.
no, but
No,
listen.
he's a sincere guy, though, but you
No,
need
but
to-
listen.
you need
No,
to-
but listen to what I'm saying. So Yemen was one of the places where there was a Quran sent to.
Okay.
Basra was another one.
Okay, fine.
So if we go to Basra, the Quran, even the recitation today. So if I go to someone, for argument's sake, to Basra, they should be using strictly Basra dialect if they memorize the Basra one.
Why?
Because if it's a dialect, the whole text has to be according to that dialect.
Why?
Because that was the. So I'm saying, listen. Okay, listen to what I'm saying.
It is permissible
wait.
to have a mix of ahruf in the same.
Because the whole point of it.
Can I just use your example? Brother's saying, some of them go to your James Bond book again.
Right.
Some version of it says all in trousers.
Yes.
Some version always says pants.
Right.
Some will say trousers, pants, trousers, pants, trousers, trousers.
Right.
There's no issue.
What is the
Different
point?
readings.
But what was the point
None
of the
those
dialect?
go
What was the
against
point
each
of the dialect?
What do you mean? What's the point of the dialect?
Right.
No,
but listen.
If
I ask you this question,
I
okay,
understand what he's saying,
yeah,
But you're being
but it's
insane now
not
because
true.
we've explained now, right? Some of the dialects change the words. It doesn't. These meanings don't go against each other, but they complement each other, and that's
Right.
another beauty of the Quran. There's no contradictions.
It's
They have different meanings.
And how much wisdom you can get out of
It's
the
a-
Quran.
you're trying to pick apart. It's
People
a
have
testament.
spent lifetimes and they'll never say, I've finished all the wisdom in the Quran, because every time you read it, something else comes out.
No problem
From
with
the
that.
Right there, I have to go.
All right,
Keep studying.
nice.
You did so much studying. Go and study about the truth of Islam.
But all I'm.
May Allah guide you, brother.
Next time you're here, we'll talk
May Allah
about.
guide you.
No, but
Because we believe in Jesus more than you,
but
brother.
next time we're here, we'll have a discussion.
All
How
right,
do you know
inshallah,
Muhammad's a prophet? Because that is the
May Allah
crux of
guide
it,
you.
isn't it?
May Allah guide you.
But yeah, nice conversation. But all I'm going to say though, just Google Haytham Siddiqui
I'm gonna check him out.
and look at his research.
Will do.
Yeah, yeah.
Haytham Siddiqui is not
But
the authority. There are others. Yeah.
Well,
Dr. Ali Attai.
that guy's a fraud. I'll speak to you about him why he's a fraud. But essential, that was a very long conversation, pleasant. But essentially, what I was trying to bring out of that conversation is the confusion or the misunderstanding of what Islamic text teaches, because everyone has this understanding of perfect preservation of the Quran. When you ask them to define it, they don't actually know. When you actually look within Islamic literature, the scholars all disagreed. If you go to Al-Qurtubi, he said there was about over 50 different interpretations about what the Qiraat and the Aruf is. It somehow come into the text and no one knows how, but for Islamic polemics or theology reasons, they've had to make a reason as to why there's so many different variations, which cause disagreements within the early Sahaba. So essentially, the point was to deconstruct this argument of the perfect preservation of the Quran, which doesn't actually exist, and no one can actually define it. And this is why we had Yasser Qadis say there are holes in the standard narrative. But this is the lie that's been pushed out and peddled to many layman Muslims who don't even know what's in with their own Islamic sources. So they cannot even admit to this. So there's a lot of jumbled up excuses, and that's why I say to anyone, go and Google the Cairo edition of the Quran, 1925-24 that is the standardized version that people use around the world. So when a Muslim says, if I go to China and they recite the same thing, all they're all doing is reciting the Cairo edition of the Hafs Quran. That is it, but they think that was the perfect preservation, which it isn't. So once we debunk that argument, then we can move to other points. So they struggle to deal with that, but they weren't aware of what's in the Islamic text was. I am. And that's why we have to look at these lies that have been peddled to lay Muslims. And once they realize this, they'll realize they've been lied to. And on that note, Paperboy out.